What is going on, YouTube-averse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. And guys, I'm so excited today to be talking to you about one of my favorite albums of all time, Led Zeppelin 4, aka Zoso, also known as Untitled. This is just one of the greatest rock records ever made. It's in my top 5 albums of all time, so that says something, I think. But yeah, if you haven't, by the way, checked out the channel Scratch a Track, my friends over there, the Dude and Grim, just recently posted an episode about this record where they talk about, out of all the songs on here, which would you omit and why? And it's not always about it being the weakest track. Sometimes it's just about the flow of the album. So some really interesting discussions. You should check it out. It's the link is above my head right now. But without any further ado, I'm going to try and rank my personal top 5 favorites, which was really hard to do on this album because all 8 tracks are essential. And yeah, but let's get right to it. At number 5. Going to California, such a great B-side on this record, just one of the greatest ballads that Led Zeppelin ever wrote. It's just so simplistic, but at the same time, you know, when adding those little tasteful moments of mandolin by Jimmy Page, and of course Robert Plant just steals the show on this thing, showing that he has quite a bit of a lower range, as well as, of course, he has to show off that high range too when he gets to that part where I might be sinking. So great, man. You gotta love this song, and yeah, has to make your top 5. So now at number 4. Misty Mountain Hop, starting off side B with a bang, man. Just when you think it's like, how are they going to follow up Stairway to Heaven of all songs? This kicks in with just one of the coolest, just groovy kind of funky riffs by John Paul Jones on the keys, and you know, Jimmy Page doubling up on the guitar, and then of course John Bonham when he kicks those drums in, man, and you're off to the races. And man, what better song about you know, Lord of the Rings lore of all things. So great, but you know, lyrically it's just all over the place. And I love too how Robert Plant, just when he gets that high range and he's like, and baby, do you like it? So ridiculous, and but I love it, and yeah, had to have it on my list. So now at number 3.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you...
Black Dog. Gotta have Black Dog on here, man. Just one of the greatest opening tracks of all time. And one could argue Rock and Roll could easily have been another opening track in its own right, but that's the second track on the album. But man, that guitar riff, man, it's just one of the most iconic riffs of all time. And you know, just one of the most iconic ways to open a song, where it's just Plant's vocal, given this kind of just bluesy melody that just sticks in your head, and then the riff is just as catchy, and then it's such an awkward song too, because the rhythm is so strange when you really listen to the drum track, but they make it all come together in just this perfect mess of a beautiful opening rock track, and that is my number 3. So now at number 2. Stairway to Heaven. I mean, come on, man. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Just one of the most amazing 7+ minute pieces of music ever made, and I can't believe it's only my number 2, because I mean, you know, in the pantheon of Zeppelin songs, this is absolutely a top 5 song. I mean, one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. Just the way that it builds just perfectly from a whisper to a scream at the end. And, you know, John Bonham being very patient, you know, to get that rocking drumming going at the end. But it's just brilliantly written, so well executed, and really is one of the standouts on this album. You know, as much as it's overplayed on rock radio, The same could be said for all 8 of these songs, technically. And, you know, when you can get a flute thing going in the intro, why not, man? It's just timeless and fantastic. And that's just my number 2. So now at number 1, When the Levee Breaks. I mean, come on, man. If you've seen my channel long enough, you know how much I love this song. I've gushed about it on so many different countdowns. I mean, to me, this is one of the greatest blues rock recordings of all time. It sounds like nothing else, just from the opening drums that were recorded there in the stairwell at Headley Grange. That, you know, sampled so many times by the likes of the Beastie Boys down the road, but no drums sound heavier than that, man. And then they, of course, those carry the song, but the riff is so unusual by Jimmy Page and so fun. The way that they syncopate those rhythms, so cool. The harmonica on this song, it just sounds like blues rock that's timeless, but also in outer space, being teleported to the whole world. And yeah, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So yeah, man, Led Zeppelin 4. What else can you say? Let me know in the comments below what your top 5 would be. If you're so bold and want to rank the whole 8 songs on the album, that's fine too. I mean, if I'm going to be honest and had to scratch one track on this album, it's a tough one, but probably I'd have to scratch Battle of Evermore. As much as I do love that song, it's, I think, the biggest outlier here, and right next to Stairway to Heaven, I think it's like too much slow stuff in a row, if that makes sense. But yeah, I can't scratch anything, obviously, because this is a perfect 10 out of 10 record. And guys, we got top 5s here every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.